Last night was a battle between two former second overall picks. In fact, two former second overall picks that are only separated by two U's, John Morant and Jalen Green. These two have some things in common. Obviously, both are former second overall picks. Both have pretty wiry frames and both are extremely athletic, and honestly they have similar athletic traits. Both are based around vertical explosion, speed, quickness, body control, and flexibility. But they are also different players as well, and this game highlighted that. Jalen Green's game was very much telling of two things for me. First is that nobody can stay in front of him, and it's become even more unstoppable with his handle improvements. Second is that the team really didn't play around him as much as they should have. He led the team in field goal attempts at 21 for this game, but when I was watching the game, it felt like there were plenty of times where he wasn't as involved in the offense as much as he should have. It felt like Jalen should have had more than 33 points in this game. He was really good in both halves of this game. He had 20 points in the first half on 63.6 field goal percentage. He had 13 points in the second half on 60% from the field. I just don't think that 33 points really does it justice for how good Jalen was in this game. His impact in this game felt closer to 40 to 50 points rather than 33 points. But besides that, I was also encouraged by his shooting. He bounced back from a poor shooting performance in the first game of the season where he went 1 for 7 from 3, and he showed a lot of the signs that I saw toward the end of his rookie season that made me confident in him having high-end shooting outcomes for his potential peak. It's only 2 games and we still have a lot of season left, but Jalen showed all the signs of being a future star in this league. What's most impressive is that the performance doesn't feel like an outlier or a one-time thing. I think he can do this multiple times throughout the season. In fact, I think he can play at this level consistently over the course of an entire season at his best. And I don't think that will be this season where he does something like this, but I do think that season is coming sooner than you might think, based off the way he's rapidly improved over the last 3 years, prior to the NBA and even in the NBA. Now for John Morant, he played like an MVP. He's had an MVP kind of start to the season. I don't expect him to average 41 points a game for the rest of the season. That would be incredible if he could, but doesn't seem that likely. But performances like the ones he's had in these first 2 games are why John Morant is well on his way to being one of the faces of the NBA. I mean, 49 points and 8 assists speak for itself. But he just does things that opposing teams are aware of but can't do anything to stop, and that's what makes him so special. His speed with the basketball in his hands is the best in the league, and I don't really think that's up for debate. You can name De'Aaron Fox, but I think John Morant is just slightly ahead of him. His first step is nearly impossible to keep up with. He's had a great start to the season as a three-point shooter, and we will have to see if he can keep it up. I don't think he'll keep it to this level, but if he can keep it to an above average level, that's going to be really good. And also, I'm just a bit more skeptical of this hot start than I was with Jalen, because unlike Jalen, who showed pretty linear improvement as a three-point shooter last season, John Morant's three-point numbers were all over the place last season, so I would like to see a few more games, in fact a lot more games of this before I make any definitive claims based off what we saw last season. But that's besides the point. If he's going to shoot like this, good luck to the rest of the league. Ja also leveraged his scoring to create passing opportunities. Anytime I talk about Ja Morant, I feel like I have to mention how great of a passer he is. I would argue it's not only his most underrated skill, but also his best skill. His feel for the game is off the charts. And for all the highlights and the flashy plays he has, he's one of the smartest players in the league, and it doesn't get nearly as much recognition as it probably should. He's drawing contact at a high level as well, and unlike the shooting, this is something I'm confident in seeing maintaining at a high level because he's shown significant improvement drawing contact and getting to the line each season. But overall, this game was incredible, not only from a box score perspective, because it was impressive from a box score perspective. 49 points and 8 assists is not something that happens every day, but also a perspective of what John Morant is as a player. One of the smartest, one of the most athletic, and one of the most unstoppable players in this league. I had a lot of fun watching this game in real time, as well as watching it on replay in the morning before I made this video. It showcased two of the future faces of this league, two of the most entertaining and explosive players to watch in basketball, and two players who just do so many things on a basketball court that can't be taught. Ja Morant is going to get most of the attention from this game, and rightfully so, because he had better stats and was the best player on tape in this game. I don't even think it was close. It was very evident that he was the guy. But Jalen Green deserves praise for what he did in this game as well. He was incredible in his own right. I enjoy watching a matchup like this between two players who are similar in a lot of ways, but also different in a lot of ways. Jalen Green is a scorer, someone who's going to be a primary option with his scoring and his ability to get buckets, because it's what he does best, not only from a skill set standpoint, but also the fact that he has athletic tools that will make him unstoppable, and playmaking will be a secondary thing for him. Ja Morant is a playmaker through and through. Yes, he scores a lot, but his passing ability is a part of his game more than you would think based off looking at the stats. When you actually watch him play, passing is such a big part of his game that it should be highlighted more than it probably is. But they do have similar frames and similar athletic gifts and traits, but they also play the game differently. And to me, that's very interesting and something we're talking about in a video. It goes beyond the fact that they both put up great numbers in this game. This is one of the most fun matchup-based games I've seen over the last 5 years. Well, let me know what you think about this matchup in the comment section below. Who do you think got the better of this matchup, and who do you like moving forward for this team? I have a feeling that I know the answer for a majority of you guys for both of these questions. But I would also like to know, maybe in the comment section below, what are your favorite matchup-based games that you have watched? It doesn't have to just be from this year. It can be from years in the past. Maybe it is from this year. We'd love to hear that in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.